Hi, Joe Cerrone.
Al Rosen.
Welcome to CAD-117 Intermediate AutoCAD Online. This is our orientation meeting. The class officially starts next week, but what we wanted to do was just to go through policy and procedures and get everybody set up for next week. We'll hold these Zoom meetings on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. and you can join the meeting by clicking on this link. It'll be the same link every week. And so you can look for that on a regular basis. We'll post recordings about those meetings. Students can download the 2020 software, and that's sort of the big thing right here is why we're having this meeting, to get your technology set up and running. If you click on this link right here, you can then go through, and this is the instructions. You will need to create an Autodesk account. But once you do have that Autodesk account created, you'll be able to download products. And so I've already got an educational ID. I can kind of sign in and show you that. But if you don't have an ID, what you'll need to do is you'll need to go through the getting started. And we recommend that you use your Oakton email so that it has a .edu extension on it. So if I log in, students are to go to the AutoCAD area within this web page. You can select Get Product, and then you can choose which version you want. 2021 is out and it's quite good. 2020 is also out and it's the current standard. You can dial it all the way back to 2018. And we recommend going with 2020 or 2021. And I use both of them, actually. I have 2021 that I just installed and they work just fine. When you do install the software, we recommend you give yourself enough time for the software to install. A good 20 minutes usually gets it done, depending on your internet speed. We don't recommend the Mac version of AutoCAD because all of our computers are set up with Windows, and so the in-class has AutoCAD Windows installed. And so if you do want to use the Mac, that's fine, but it does look different. What we recommend if you are going to use the Mac version is that you install a Windows partition and run it with the regular AutoCAD Windows. Back to the main splash page.
The books are there that we were talking about. You have.
Go ahead, you can do the voiceover, Al.
It's okay. This is the AutoCAD comprehensive book. You can buy it, you can rent it, you can get a used copy. If you can't get a 2020 copy or 2021 copy, they do have all the way down to 2018. Basically, it is the same thing, but unfortunately, it doesn't have the nuts and bolts, the new information that's in the current version of AutoCAD. But that's about it. Does do the same thing? Yes. Can you understand the same thing? Yes.
Right, it's the same book that we use for CAD-116, so if you have that book from last semester or last class, you can hang on to it. And then here's the other book. Whoops, that's not it. That's 2018, much less, $37 to rent it.
And you still can get it, you can still use it, does the same thing, but doesn't have that bells and whistles to some of the new stuff, which is fine.
We take a look at the syllabus, click on that. Fall 2020, Al and I will be running the course. You can call me, my phone is forwarded, but the best way to get a hold of us is by email.
And if you do, please put down it's AutoCAD, you're taking CAD-117-0C1, so we know which class you're in relatively quick.
Yeah, it does help us because we have a number of different courses, and finding out which classes people are in takes a little while. So our main objective is to develop the student's ability to analyze and solve problems in a lab environment using computer-assisted design and drafting systems. Essentially, the CAD-117 is kind of a technical drawing course. And now we need to put this link in there also for the textbook. I didn't see it. We use two books. We use the AutoCAD Comprehensive, and we use the Technical Drawing 101 book. And you can use either the 18 or the 20 versions of them. And the Technical Drawing 101 book is half architecture, half mechanical, and it goes through with the standards that are needed for technical drawing. So the mechanical drawings go through how to set up dimension styles, layers, line types, line weights, according to the ASME Y14.2 standards. Evaluation will be standard. Drawing labs are 50%, tests and quizzes 10, final exam 40. Grading scale 90, 80, 70, 60. If you have any documented learning or physical disability, there's accommodation services available to you, and just let us know if you need anything like that. Sequence of topics. So next week, we'll start with the user interface. We'll go through and review that. And then what we'll do is we'll start to bring in the textbook from Chapter 2 of AutoCAD Comprehensive, which kind of goes through some of the 3D and modeling. And so as the course has been going on for a long time, it continues to grow, and we do more 3D now in the second course, whereas in years past, it was mostly in the 118 Advanced AutoCAD. We'll cover technical drawing, intro to 3D modeling, creating primitives and composites, drafting tools, CAD basics, primitives and composites, viewing and display commands. So every week we'll go through a different chapter, and then we'll go through how to do those. It's pretty much lab-based as far as what we were going to do. So we'll read through the curriculum or the lecture material, we'll post that online, and then we'll go through and give the assignments. There's a midterm, 11/16. Thanksgiving break, November 25th. We'll have a 3D printing project that we'll introduce. We may push this up a little earlier than into December. I may take a look at that, but other than that, everything is pretty well standard by the book. Final exam is December 9th, and on the 14th, all work is due. Again, how to install the software. You can get a VPN, which is a virtual private network. You'll need to request that, and then what you can do is you can use your computer and your internet connection to log into a computer at school.
Go log into a lab, and on the lab they will have multiple computers to pick out from, and you're able to do that. That way it's like sitting in front of the computer in one of our labs in Des Plaines or in Skokie.
Yeah, it's really kind of neat. I was impressed at how well they rolled that out. The help desk is available, and so if you have any difficulty, you can get help from the help desk. Their phone number is 847-635-1965. The biggest problem we run into sometimes is that the CAD software requires a certain amount of horsepower. And so I typically run it on even my older computers. My older laptop is a good 5 or 6 years old with an i5 processor. And graphic cards tend to be important too. And so if you can get one with a dedicated graphic card, that works best. So in light of the pandemic, this is how we are rolling out the courses. All right, we did allow one of the modules to be open. So if you are interested in getting started early, as we look into the table of contents here, here's our syllabus, our sequence of topics, software, how to install the software. There's a pretest. We like to get kind of a gauge on how students are doing before they take it. It doesn't count towards your grade. These are the title blocks we'll use for the course. Here's our textbook.
If you click on that link, by the way, up a little bit, it's a link right there.
And it goes to the assignments. And so if we look at chapter 1, we basically go through, and the author kind of has like a broad approach. A lot of times we'll have students who haven't really got an idea of what the vocational aspects of are for mechanical design and CAD. And so it really just kind of goes through and talks about the differences, mechanical and architectural and fields of study. But as we progress through the textbook into the other chapters, it gets more technical. We have a lot of exercises that we'll work through. We have these mechanical drawing projects. And so there's this assembly drawing, and we 3D print this part and assemble it. And then there's some other additional projects as we get down the line where we can go through and do some other projects. But essentially it's our intermediate AutoCAD course, and we'll basically go through up to the point where this is sort of toward the end where we'll model these different, this project here. And this one is an option. Some people like the harder stuff, me included. And we have videos on how to do those. All right, back to our table of contents. Software, pretest, title blocks, book. Here's the other book, the AutoCAD Comprehensive. And then the material in here is basically from the advanced. And so what we'll do is go through modeling, basic 3D drawing techniques. And if we go through the outline of topics, what we'll see is that we tend to cover a little bit of both. And that way we spend some time on the technical aspects for architecture and mechanical, and then some of the modeling aspects for three-dimensional drawing. So if we look again at our sequence of topics, we have these 2 books, and then we'll assign those different chapters. Once you've completed the drawings, you submit those to the assignments folder, and we'll go through. We've got to update this due date. Obviously, that's in the past, but typically they're 2 weeks out as we go through and do the drawings. And so once we introduce them, then they're due 2 weeks later, and then it starts to build. All right. Al, is there anything else that I need to? Oh yeah, one more thing.
Go down a way, please.
Sure.
Keep going all the way down. Keep going.
It's as far as it goes, Al.
Okay. Go to contents then. Sorry about that.
That's quite all right. I'm viewing as a student.
That's fine. You go down all the way, please. You should see drawing or mod 1, please, I think.
Right. There it is. So if you do want to get started early, you can start with lab 1. You know, it's these basic mechanical drawings and this architectural drawing. The lectures there, labs there, Arc Lab is, and we'll go through that next week. So we're just kind of pointing it out for any of those people who want to get started early. All right, I'm going to end the video unless there's anything else you'd like to add, Al.
That's it.
All right, I'll end the video and then we'll open up the Zoom meeting for questions.